Coming up on In the Works, we brought in Pinellas Park High School's Criminal Justice Academy for questioning to learn more about how they are preparing students for a career in law enforcement. We follow a group of students to the Capitol as they work towards a statewide way to honor fallen officers. And we talk to an industry expert about what students can do to prepare for a career in law enforcement. Don't go anywhere, it would be a crime to miss this In the Works. And welcome to In the Works, a show that highlights the very best programs throughout Pinellas County that prepare students for career or college after graduation. I'm Jamie Dempsey, a senior at Seminole High School. Each episode will highlight a different career academy, magnet program, or other opportunities for students in the district. Today we are featuring the Criminal Justice Academy at Pinellas Park High School.
Hi, I'm Victoria Horn, a senior at Northeast High School. The Criminal Justice Academy at Pinellas Park High School is a 4-year program that teaches students all the aspects of law from cops to courts. The lessons that are taught in the classroom can be applied to a future career in law enforcement. It's something we all have in common.
Everyone is going to have to deal with in some form or fashion in their life is the law.
From hitting the road to hitting your school books, the law impacts our lives in more ways than most of us realize. Students at Pinellas Park High School's Criminal Justice Academy are learning the ins and outs about several careers within law enforcement and are being taught by teachers with experience in the field.
All the teachers have experience in different fields, and it definitely helps because they know what they're talking about. It's not just someone who just got randomly hired. They all have experience with what they're teaching us. So if you like CSI or anything like that, we watch a lot of that. We do a lot of hands-on activities. We do a lot of clubs. We do a lot of community service, giving back to the communities.
Students learn proper court procedures, participate in mock forensic science investigations, and practice defense tactics used by law enforcement. Instructors draw on their own experience and bring in professionals still working in the field.
I just left my career in forensics, so it's easy for me to make sure that what I'm doing in the classroom correlates directly with what local agencies are looking for. But I do make sure to keep constant contact with the people I've worked with and even bring in ex-coworkers who are still doing that job to share what they know and how technology is advancing, things that we may not hear about with the students.
Having the background that I have allows me to be able to show them more of the social science aspect of English or the more social science aspect of trial advocacy too, so it helps very well.
They actually can tell us personal stories. They can tell us personal things that they've done with that specific thing that they're teaching us. It's not just, oh, we're reading from the book.
Students are able to graduate with a more focused goal for their career.
I hope to work at the state attorney's office for about 2 to 3 years, and then my aspirations after that are to go to the FBI and become a special agent and go on from there.
Even if it's not what students originally planned to pursue.
A lot of the students have misconceptions about crime scene investigation because of all the TV shows. And I make sure to clear up those misconceptions pretty early. So they either know by the end of their high school career whether that's really what they want to do or just something they thought they wanted to do. If they are not cut out to be at the actual crime scene, they may realize that there are careers in the lab or civilian positions with certain agencies where they could still be involved in helping to solve crimes, but in a different capacity.
Coming to academy, you think you want to do one thing, but you learn so much each year. Like I know I want to be an attorney, so being able to have Mr. Eden's class with the court procedures and motions and everything like that, and then learning law enforcement. So if you want to be a police officer, you learn the different aspects of that. So yeah, it definitely helps. Each year you learn something different because it could change.
The principles of law are incorporated into every subject within the academy, including core subjects like English.
We act out or dramatize the trial, and then at various points we discuss the trial and what took place and how it took place, etc. so that they are aware of how a trial works and ultimately the rules of trial they learn in their other CJA classes, and so they can reiterate those when they when they read the novel.
What students learn in the classroom is reinforced by CJA's award-winning debate, forensics, and mock trial teams.
FPSA is my favorite thing that I've done. We spend 3 to 4 days at a hotel with our friends going to win competitions, and it's just a great bonding experience. We all come closer together as a family, and we just learn all the skills we need for our future.
By participating in Skills USA and Florida Public Service Association competitions, students gain experience and opportunities.
A lot of our students get exposure to local agencies and people who work for those agencies. That gives them a foot in the door or an advantage over students who aren't part of a career academy.
And 2 of my students were chosen for internships for the summer so that they could be able to ultimately serve under attorneys and get paid for the experience. So it connects the kids to the community. It allows them to learn not only through community effort how to become attorneys and how to deal with the trial system, but it also allows them to have sometimes paid occupations throughout the summer.
As students prepare for graduation and their future, they take what they have become passionate about in the classroom with them.
They go over some crime scene stuff with you, and they all show you how the academy works and some of the stuff that you'll learn. And our academy obviously does really well. If we have our certification, you can go straight into the police academy if you graduate from our school without having to get your 2 years in college.
When they do complete schooling, it's easy for them to excel in their classes and really be top-notch investigators in their field.
Graduates of CJA who are interested in becoming a law enforcement officer can enter to the police academy immediately after graduation. Typically, high school graduates have to earn an associate's degree before attending.
Hello, I'm Lee Nielsen, a senior at Palm Harbor University High School. It started as a class assignment and became a way to remember fallen heroes in the line of duty. Students in a government class at Pinellas Park High School are learning what it takes to turn a bill into a law using a hands-on approach.
A series of tragedies have turned into a lesson of political activism from the students of Pinellas Park High School's Criminal Justice Academy. After 5 officers from the Tampa Bay area died in the line of duty, students from Richard Cross's class created a specialty license plate to remember them.
There's so many different license plates out there. There's not really one really memorializing and remembering fallen officers. So we kind of decided to put it upon ourselves and create a group called Operation 1024.
This process was 3 years in the making and took them from their classroom to Tallahassee.
In December, we really started learning that it could become possible. And then in February, we were having a press conference here. March, we were up in Tallahassee. So this year it really took off, but it was really a 3-year milestone.
Their efforts were not only recognized by lawmakers who plan to take Senate Bill 720 back up next session, but also by the law enforcement community.
Anyone that hears about it is really just taken back because, you know, it is a field where you don't get a lot of thank yous. You don't get, you know, the, oh, thank you so much, you know, for doing that. You don't get that. Most of my family is in law enforcement, so I know that firsthand.
Lawmakers ran out of time to act on the bill this legislative session, and there is a moratorium on specialty plates until 2014, but the students are still optimistic about making the plate a reality.
There might be some things in the way that's going to stop us. We can still go through it, and we're just going to keep going because this is something important to us. A lot of us knew Banger and Yasowitz.
The process has taught students how to go from an idea to a bill to a law. But it has also shown them the sacrifices it takes to be a law enforcement officer.
When the 2 officers were killed, Banger and Yasowitz, nothing in St. Petersburg, no officers were killed in 32 years. So to have such a tragedy and for us to be in our freshman year, it's really, the freshman year is really dedicated to law enforcement and becoming a police officer. So we were learning about all the things to do, like defensive tactics and everything like that. And so I think it just brought it home like, wow, that could be my profession in a couple years and I'm gonna have to go through that.
If you want to help Pinellas Park High School push the plate, you can write your local lawmaker to get on board.
Hello, I'm here with Greg Horan, a Pinellas County Sheriff's Deputy. You were part of the first graduating class at Pinellas Park High School's Criminal Justice Academy. Tell us a little bit about your experiences there.
The Criminal Justice Program at Pinellas Park High School is a program that's dedicated to leading students into the field of criminal justice, whether it be as attorneys, forensic scientists, or law enforcement. The program prepared me to get into the field of law enforcement by establishing a good foundation of the principles of criminal justice, and helped secure my desire to continue further on into the field of law enforcement.
What made you decide to get involved into the program?
We have a family history of police officers in the family. My dad retired from the St. Petersburg Police Department, and growing up with around a bunch of police officers, that's what I knew. That hearing the good old war stories just really fueled my desire to be a police officer.
What advice do you have for students who are either in the program now or have a interest in that field?
Prepare yourself, and the best advice I can give is get your education now. This job is always going to be here. Make smart choices, have fun, but understand there are repercussions if you make bad choices. Don't make those bad choices, because they will come back and haunt you.
What are some challenges that you have faced while working in this career field?
Some of the biggest challenges I've faced are, dealing with individuals that just generally don't care for law enforcement. They have no respect for the law. They have no respect for themselves. And when I first got into the field, I had issues with, just generally being a young person in the field of, are you old enough to be a cop? But outside of that, anything else we learn to adapt and overcome.
Thank you so much for being here today with us.
It's time for our In the Works career question. Let's see if you know the answer. What criminal justice career is paying the most these days? A, police officer, B, detective, C, lawyer, or D, private investigator? The answer is C, lawyer. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics, lawyers make anywhere from $75,000 to $163,000 annually. That's all the time we have for this edition of In the Works.
Don't forget, you can check all of our episodes anytime online at newsroom.pcsb.org.
Or you can catch us on Pinellas County Schools TV station WPDS.
I'm Jamie Dempsey.
I'm Victoria Horn.
And I'm Lee Nielsen.
We'll see you next time.